All right, all right, all right. I see y'all falling on in tonight. Tell me where you're watching from. Listen, you know how we do it on the Real Money Coach Show. I'm excited that you are with us on this Tuesday evening. Make sure that you put in the comments where you're watching from, what city you're watching from, and all of that great stuff. And the other thing I want you to do is make sure you do this. Make sure that you share the stream on Facebook. Make sure you tell somebody. Make sure you send the YouTube link to somebody and let them know that the Real Money Coach Show is on the air. And I'm excited. I'm rested. I've been chilled all weekend. I had me a great 4-day getaway with my wife. And man, I ain't make no phone call other than to some restaurants to see what the line was. Other than that, and but I had a great time. Listen, we got Dr. Bonita Harris in the house. We got Ruth Bell is in the house. Listen, we got those regulars that are already here. They're fired up. They're ready to go. And I want to tell you this. If you have a question, if you have a comment, if you have any of that, make sure that you put it into the chat. Listen, there is a whole lot of financial news that is going on. It's a whole lot of financial news that's going on. And my co-host and I are going to get to some of that. And then, as you all know, if you've seen it on social media or if you have gotten an email, hello, Alice Martin. Good to have you here as well. If you've got it in any of those, then you know that our guest tonight is Darrin Henson, and we'll tell you a little bit more about him later. Listen, somebody said blessings and prayers, Tony Jackson. Love you, bro. Man, I wish I knew who that was. It just says Facebook user. Tell me who you are. I love that. Thank you so much for your prayers and man, those wonderful comments. We got someone else here from Charlotte as well. Again, depending on how you're getting the stream, it may or may not tell me your name on my end. So make sure you put your name in there so I can acknowledge you appropriately. And I just want to say, hey, you Facebook user, right? I want to call you by your name, let you know that I appreciate you being here for this wonderful, wonderful show tonight. Listen, let's bring on the co-host. Let's bring on Michelle Mitchell from Mitchell Consulting. I got caught up in reading these stats. Like, okay, Dexy, thank you for being here. Blessings to you and your family. Hope you guys are doing well. Part of the Every Black organization. And just prayers out to you guys because I know you lost your mom not too long ago. So continue to pray for your family. Michelle, what's happening in KZoo? What's going on?
Not much, Tony.
Just not much.
Just, doing what I do.
Doing what you do.
Doing what I do.
That's probably a good idea. We ought to tell everybody every once in a while, what do you do, Michelle? What do you do? So
I run Mitchell Consulting. Well, I don't know if I shared it here, but in August, we had our 12th year anniversary. Yes.
Wow.
I've been in business for 12 years now, running Mitchell Consulting. And we help business owners from bookkeeping to coaching in the financial area. And I'm just very passionate and I love what I do.
Man, listen, I'm just seeing it. I'm checking out the chat. And the person who said that was Chris, my barber, right? Chris is Lisa's favorite barber, right? Because like, yeah, he do you right, babe. He get you all lined up, get you all right. And so love Chris, love. Now, I'm going to tell you something. I got to do this, though. Next time Tony comes, I got to take him to No Grease, South Park. I got to let him get a haircut from Chris.
He bald-headed.
It don't matter. It don't matter. He gonna walk away feeling good, right?
Oh my goodness.
Listen, when I go get a haircut, I know I'm all off topic, y'all. But when I go get a haircut, I get like a facial massage and hot towel and oils. I mean, it's more than just a haircut. I'm just trying to tell you. So, yeah, if y'all looking for that kind of treatment, then y'all need to go see Chris Patton out at South Park, No Grease. I'm just I'm just saying. All right. So good. Cynthia Thomas is here. Cynthia and Sheila are here. That's awesome. Thank you all for joining us tonight. We're looking forward to just having a fabulous show tonight with I guess Hollywood ain't where movies take place no more, right? Movies take place. Atlanta has become one of the movie meccas of the United States. Of course, you got Tyler Perry Studios.
Right.
Everybody knows about that. But there's a lot of places, different places around the country has really gotten into filmmaking. I know a lot of it happens in Nashville even. And so it's kind of real interesting. But Michelle, let's talk a little bit about some financial news I thought would be worthy for us just to mention tonight. And one is kind of a tragic story, right?
It is.
And that is the CFO of Bed Bath and Beyond. I always get it all mixed up, but unfortunately, he committed suicide this last weekend.
Right.
And the reason why I thought, it's worth mentioning is because last week we had Felice Hightower Britt on, was just talking about our mental health and making sure that we take care of our mental health. And I understand that corporation was under some really heavy financial strain, right? Yeah. Because, I've been reading up on it a little bit because, they're what actually happened, I went there to buy something for Lisa and they didn't have it. I was like, what's going on with it? And so I kind of did a little research and found out that a lot of their inventory is not being restocked from name brands because they were having trouble paying the inventory bill and some of these type of things. So a lot of stores were closing. And so it's a lot of financial pressure. And then this particular gentleman, also, I think that it was reported maybe he did a stock dump or something. But there's just nothing financially worth taking your life. And so we just want to encourage people that if you're under that type of pressure, depression and those type of things, is to get help.
Yeah.
Get help.
And so seek out help, like professionals.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that's the key too, because sometimes we might seek help in areas that from people that are not qualified to give that help.
Right.
And so, and I even think about myself. Okay. I'm an ordained minister called by God. I believe that. I believe God called me into ministry, ordained and all that, but I am not a counselor.
Right.
You get what I mean? I can tell you what the Bible says. I can share stories with you. I can encourage you, but there's times when you might need
a professional,
right? A professional, and I'm not that. Now, there are pastors who that go and they get their degree in counseling and do some of those types of things. And we love that. We appreciate that. But so that was one thing that I thought was pretty tragic this week.
Yeah.
A couple of other things. And this is kind of a good news. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about Bank of America.
Yeah.
All right. So Bank of America announced this week that they are introducing a 0 down payment mortgage now to Black and Latino areas. Now, there's some people who have said, my understanding is that the borrower doesn't have to be Black or Latino, but the home that you're buying has to be in a predominantly Black or Latino neighborhood, predominantly Black or African-American or Latino neighborhood. Now, there's a couple things about it. It's not a countrywide, okay? So there is a few cities that they're going to be testing this in. Charlotte is one of them. Dallas is another. Detroit, Los Angeles, and Miami. So those are the markets they're going to be trying it. And it's for first-time home buyers only. First-time home buyers only.
Okay.
And get this, there's no loan limit. So there's not like they're capping it
There's
at the
not a
loan.
cap.
There's not a cap. So if you qualify for the loan, debt to equity ratio, right?
Right.
Then debt to income ratio, then there's no limit on terms of how much you spend for the house.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the other thing that they're claiming with this program is that it is not a traditional credit score program. So what they're going to be looking at is they're going to be looking at your payment history, like your rent, your utilities. That's going to weigh heavier than
your credit
having a certain credit score.
Okay.
So it's going to weigh heavier than a credit score.
Interesting.
So it's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And the other part about it is I always look at these things from kind of a analyst type of standpoint, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm saying now, we know that gentrification is happening.
Yes.
In these neighborhoods.
Mm-hmm.
And it's under, a different name. Some of it called opportunity zones, these type of things. My concern is that, you have these houses that go up in the neighborhoods, Latino, African American, and if these houses are too expensive that our people can't buy them, then what's going to happen is zero down payment loan is going to go to people who can afford to come in and buy those houses. So I'm just waiting back to see what happens, you know. And I do think that one of the things that we need to do, and we have someone that's coming on the show in a couple of weeks, who used to work for NECA. Now, NECA is a no down payment program as well. But, they have different maps and stuff like that where you can buy in and different qualifications. And their process is pretty rigorous, right? But if you go through their process, you probably gonna get your loan somewhere else. I mean, you get it somewhere else.
Right.
And so, those type of things. But, this Bank of America program is going to be interesting to see how this unfolds. And, I kind of would have liked to have seen it where the borrower has to be, but, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
So is it for new construction and existing?
I believe it can be. It did not stipulate whether it had to be existing or new construction, but it had to be. And the other thing I want to know is, okay, you say this is available in predominantly Hispanic and Black neighborhoods. Defined by what?
Exactly.
Right. What's the definition? How do you define that? And those type of things. So I think there are some things to watch, but it is a big news item that's going on. It's like, what's happening with this Bank of America deal. I mean, I think it's a positive thing. But I we'll see. We'll see.
Yep, we'll see.
And it's only on those markets right now. So and the other thing that my question was about it too was, and maybe I'm in Charlotte. I ought to be able to find somebody at Bank of America that could come on the show and talk about it. Don't you think?
That's right.
Because you should be able to find somebody here, right?
You should be able to find somebody
about the program. I think we got to put that on the list. We got to put that on the list. Let's find someone at Bank of America that can come in and really talk about the program, and we can talk about sponsorship and stuff too while they're here. So we'll do all of that.
That's right.
We'll do all of that. So other than that, Michelle, I think the other thing that's really going on is we continue to see the stock market struggling. It's struggling. And
the stock market is struggling.
Yeah. So look, Cynthia Thomas says NECA is how she got her house. Love that. Love it. Love it. It's a great program. The interest rates are so low. I've seen interest rates being like 1.8%. I mean, it's really a great program. It's a great program. It's nationwide. They're kind of radical in terms of going after banks and stuff and making sure they make money available to certain buyers, and
Mhm.
their program is really kind of neat because if you have under a certain income level, you can get more benefits, and then
Okay.
other income levels it's a little bit higher, and
Mhm.
then depending on where the house is, you can buy a house anywhere, but if it works in certain mapping, then it's cheaper. But it's a great program. I recommend it for anyone who's looking, and it's zero down. So
Zero down, first time home buyer. That's awesome.
zero down. The NECA
Mhm.
program, zero down, zero closing costs,
Wow.
nothing out of your pocket. They pay it off.
Wow.
And so you have to go through their counseling program to get
Mhm.
approved. And you have
Mhm.
to do, guess what you got to do, Michelle? You got to present a budget.
You got to present a budget.
You got to present a budget. Isn't that? But this, and Bank of America is one of the big funders for that program.
Mhm.
And so it sounds like this program that they're doing may be somewhat similar to that.
Mhm.
So we'll see how that goes. But
Yeah.
like I said, it's a wonderful program nationwide. Strongly recommended for anyone. Look it up, NACA.org, I do believe. And yeah, I mean, it's a great program.
Awesome.
So yeah, and like we were saying before, that comment came across, is like the stock market. I'm just kind of looking here, and it's continuing to decrease. And I just want to tell anyone out there, if you're sitting on money in your 401k, and or you have money in the bank and it's not earning anything, y'all need to go to iPadappointment.com and let's have a
Yeah.
conversation. And because you don't have to lose all of your money, right?
Right.
And we can put you into something or show you vehicles that will allow you to, make a switch without locking in the losses.
Mhm.
And that's key, because you don't want to have like these great, you don't want to have these losses and then kind of lock those in by
Right.
switching over to the wrong vehicle.
Right.
So it's important that you talk to someone that's going to show you the right vehicles that you can do that, so that you don't continue this downward spiral. And there's many people that feel like it's going to continue to go down. That it's not. I mean, we're just on the brink of it.
Yeah, I do believe we're on the brink of it. So you got to take heed when there's warning signs, right?
Right. What do they say? Where there's smoke, there's fire.
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
And so, other than that, the other thing is September is Life Insurance Awareness Month.
Yeah.
So, I want to make sure that people make sure that you get your house in order as it relates to life insurance.
At least y'all talk to Tony and have what you have checked. Like, to just get a review.
It's free.
It's free.
It's free.
Yeah.
Get a review.
Yeah, get a review.
So, Michelle.
Yes.
Tonight, I'm not a big TV watcher, right?
Mhm.
But there's certain shows I like. See, if you know me, I like a good gangster show, right? Like American Gangster. I'm one of those people that like what Godfather. So when
Mhm.
Lisa and I were in Italy, I went to the place where Tony met Apollonia. I mean, I like the gangster movie, right? I like that, Scarface, all those
Right.
movies and stuff. And so our guest that we have coming on tonight, man, The Family Business, that is the show. I love that show.
I haven't watched it. Tell me.
Man, you better get on some BET Plus and check it out, because
I'm gonna have to check it out.
it will suck you in, though. I'm sorry. I'm
Will
telling
it?
you, it will suck you in. You're going to be there watching 3 or 4 episodes of it. And, the girl gangster movie is not Lisa's thing, but she ain't going to say it. She do like Family Business. It's a great show on BET Plus. But this Darrin, who's coming on tonight, I mean, you may recognize him from Stomp the Yard. I think it was Tank. And then, the one movie or the one show, the series that our people were crazy about, Soul Food, right?
Yes.
Soul Food. Did you watch Soul Food?
I did.
Did you watch Lim? Do you know Lim from
I know
Soul?
Lim.
Guess who's
Yes.
in the studio tonight? We have Darrin
Woo-hoo.
Henson. He's going to be in the studio. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and bring Darrin on out and let him say hello to the people tonight. Darrin, how you doing?
Peace and blessings. Love and light. It's great to be on with you both this evening.
Man, listen, we're excited to have you on
Yes,
tonight.
welcome to the show.
How you doing, bro? You doing good?
I'm fantastic. I'm great.
Man, I know you're busy. I know you're busy, man. It's like because you're in two series at the same time, and you know, to me, it's so amazing. And I want you to tell little people about you, but I just think it's so amazing. How can you remember all of them lines, right?
Look,
I mean, that's got to be a skill all by itself.
To whom much is given, much is required, and you know. The way I look at it is repetition is the mother of skill. So we're talking currently about the family business on BET Plus and Double Cross, which is on All Black. Carl Weber created the family business, and Crystal and Howard Gibson has created Double Cross, 2 hit series on 2 different networks. I am blessed and highly favored, and I know it. So I'm very grateful to be on those shows, and I'm very, very thankful that you would have me on this evening.
Well, man, we're honored that you'd be here. And I was thinking about those 2 roles. Like, okay, so you're Orlando Duncan on one, and then you play a detective on the other.
I'm Detective Ryan on Double Cross, correct.
It's like they're 2 opposite, right? Like, you know, of that. But man, you have had a wonderful career. I mean, just looking at back to, you know, we were talking a little bit about Stump the Yard, and, you know, and even you predate that in terms of, you know, working with artists. I mean, you know, the 2 names that stand out to me is like Michael Jackson and Prince. I mean, you're talking about iconic.
I overstand.
Yeah, iconic, man. So tell us a little bit, though, man, of who you are, you know, and a little bit of your backstory.
You know, to be very honest, to make a long story short, I'm just a guy who's living out his dreams and intentionally moving and utilizing what God has given me and sharing it with the world, whether it's dance, whether it's directing, whether it's acting or producing, it's arts. And I'm being artistic and distributing the art with the world. I'm just a guy from New York City who had big dreams and followed them up with big action and looked for equally big results. And, you know, I believe the way the mind is programmed determines our thoughts. Our thoughts determine our actions, and our actions determine the results that we experience in our lives.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I mean, and, you know, and that's just so appropriate. I don't care what area of your life you're talking about. Obviously, Michelle and I have accounting background, and this is the real money coach and all that. But it's the same mindset. We always talk about mindset. Like, if we don't work on our mindset, then, you know, money will just come and it'll just go right through
and it'll go.
We say money is like a fickle woman. If you don't pay attention to her, she will leave you.
That is true.
Money will leave you faster than the woman will, man. I'm telling you. But once the money gone, she gone too. That's not exactly true. Because, and I really, that's not true at all, because we know, I know for me, man, my wife is all of that. And she is hung through the bad times, the good times, the lean times, and all of that. And so, you know, anyone, I would tell anyone, I'm scripture, right? He that finds a wife findeth a good thing, right? So that's for sure. So Darrin, tell us a little bit what it was like for you early in your career versus now. I mean, you've been in this game for a while. I mean, you know, everybody thinks about, you know, overnight success and all this. And I think you made a statement on the radio the other day when we were doing the interview that, you know, overnight success doesn't happen overnight or something like that. So tell us a little bit about what that journey's been like for you.
Yeah, I don't believe that overnight success is overnight. I think that is a incorrect way to present one's focus and intention. And I think that it takes away from the work that needs to be done. People really need to recognize that to whom much is given, much is required. It's a balance, meaning
I think we froze up a little bit. Or
Yeah.
is it
Nope, he froze up.
they balance each other out.
There we go. Darrin is breaking up a little bit on our end. I mean, I know he's saying something good too.
I know he is. Really good.
Hey, Darrin. Let me put in the chat.
Oh, Dante did it.
Okay, Dante got it.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully we can get him back online a little bit here. So yeah, okay. So we'll just hopefully that connection will stable up a little bit, and maybe what we could do, Dante, is why don't you pull him back up, and then maybe take Michelle and off, maybe that bandwidth to help a little bit, right. If we try it that way. But we're still not getting any audio. So listen, we'll try to get a message to him and see if we can get that technical difficulty worked out there. And I think if he can hear us, if you go out and come back in, that might help alleviate some of that. Sometimes that helps a lot. And so, because I do want to hear what he's saying.
Right.
I think
you got some nuggets.
I know it, man. And you can just tell from his facial impression and everything he's saying how passionate he is about what he's talking about.
Yeah.
And, just for our audience to let you know this is that, he does have a book out. The book is called Life's Teachable Moments. Life's Teachable Moments. And, when he comes back on, we're going to ask him to share a little bit about that work, because I think that life is full of teachable moments. And when I saw that title, I thought it was pretty remarkable, life's teachable moments. And how many times have we been through those, right? Where we have these teachable moments. And the question is, who are we teaching? And that's where I think most of the time we think about like our children or people who are around us, but people we might mentor, just having these teachable moments where we can share facts with them and explain things with them. And sometimes, we may not understand, they may not understand it. It may not make sense until later. I know I've had moments like that, right? That you go through these trials or tribulations and you wonder why. Sometimes you wonder why, and I remember a long time ago, Pastor told me, he's like, you just ask yourself, Lord, what will you have me to learn in this situation? In this situation. And sometimes it's years and years, Michelle, before it actually comes back and you realize what was the purpose for me to have gone through that situation. And
Because
it's
you
normally
realize in the present moment, when you're reflecting back on what happened, like you can see the dots lining up. But
right.
when
Well,
you're in it,
And it
you just,
wasn't for you. There we
yeah,
go. We got you, bro. How you doing?
yeah,
hey, I don't know what happened. I apologize to you and the audience.
No, man, it
no
sounds good
problem.
now, man. Man, you were going in too, man.
You were.
We could tell from your facial expressions that it was passionate and what you were talking
What
about.
I wanted to say to you and the listeners, first of all, thank you so much for your patience. It's really important to be patient in life. This is a lesson, right? Because sometimes we anticipate things, and what I was talking about is time, right? So we always have the now, which is the new opportunity window now, right? Not procrastination, not anticipation. When we anticipate, sometimes we get there too soon, right? That's like being late. It's just as bad, except when you're preparing yourself for success, right? So what happens is people who procrastinate are not utilizing the time, the new opportunity window,
Wow.
the now that they have. So we talk about money and finances on this show. And what we said earlier was that money is like a fickle woman. It will leave you if you don't pay attention to it. Now, what that simply means is the application of money, when utilized properly, will earn interest for you. And you can take that interest and invest it. Why? Because we don't make money. We have to stop using that term. We earn money.
That's
And
good.
most of the time, we earn money as a trade for our time, which you can never get back.
Right.
You can't get time back. Time is always the winner. So if you look at time as an asset, then you have to work with time in the now. But if you look at it as an opponent, then you know time will always win out. So it's better to be on time and in time. And in time is always being and living in the now, because time is fleeting.
Yes. I love
That's
that.
good, man. That's real good, because I think sometimes, we are, like you said, we're looking so much, I want to accomplish this, I want to do this, I want to do that, and we don't live in that moment right now and enjoy. And that's what I enjoyed about my last weekend with Lisa and I. Just got away and just enjoyed each other, right? We just
Think
went.
about what you just said. You said sometime means some of the time, opposed to living in the now, which is perpetual.
Perpetual, all of the time.
All the time. Now, right? We learn time incorrectly. They say there's 60 seconds in 1 minute. Well, that second, what happened to the first? One comes before two.
Yeah.
So the first is always now, 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 now. There's always a first before the second.
That's good. True. That's good. That's good. Yeah.
So if we live in the now, the new opportunity window, we breathe now. We live now. People always ask me, what's my favorite role that I played? And I always say the next one. It's like your breath. Which is your favorite breath? The next one that I'll take. Right?
Right.
Because the last one no longer is important. It's always about the next one, which means we need to keep moving forward. We need to keep advancing. We need to keep going, growing, and glowing. Right? So when we talk about entrepreneurship, when we talk about money, like that's a saying on one of my shirts. I own a t-shirt line, a clothing line that's called God's Billboard T-shirts. It's about being a billboard for God. And one of the shirts says, we go through it to grow through it, to glow through it.
Right.
Amen. So
Amen.
the reason that we say that is because we have to keep going and growing and glowing, because if you're not growing, you feel like you're dying. So we must continue to grow. And everything that we do, everything that we learn is there to teach us how to become better, how to keep growing beyond the space. Because there are people out there who say with confidence, I'm the same person I was 20 years ago. I didn't change. That's sad.
Yeah.
That
You
is
should not be the
that is
person
sad.
that you were 20 years ago. You should have 20 years of compound interest, of education, maturity in your life that you can utilize for yourself, your family, and your loved ones. And that is called wisdom.
That's good stuff, man.
That's good. Yeah.
So what I'm doing here, folks, is I'm putting into the chat. I'm going to put the link to Darrin's. You called it God's Billboard, right? And
GodsBillboard.com. GodsBillboards T-shirts.com. GodsBillboard T-shirts.com.
And you can help me out with that, Dante. We want to make sure we got that on there. And I think I got that there. I was pulling it off of Instagram, but it is some great t-shirts. I mean, I was there, I was looking at them, and it's just a great message. So, man, tell me something. Tell me a little bit about. I mean, I hear the religious tones and all that. So, man, I got to kind of find it. Tell me a little bit about where you are, man. It seems like your walk is pretty strong and that.
Well, it's not religion. It's knowing that I am pure energy. I am a spirit having a physical experience. And see, that's different from religion or religiosity. The word religion means to bind. When people say I have that old time religion, what they're saying to me is that they have that old time bound up mentality. And see, God is ever living, everlasting, omnipresent. And so we're talking about an omnipotent God. We're talking about an everywhere or always God, right? So we're not talking about a small God. We're not talking about the Most High being small. And so I can't think small, because if I'm a son of God, then that means I have qualities. That means that I have the know-how innately to be of service. Because if God is my father and I am a child of God, I have to act like it.
You got to act like you that inheritance is yours. That
you better act like you know.
Your
See,
legacy.
there's a difference between believing and a difference between knowing. What you believe can change. Which is why it says in the scripture, when I was a child, I thought as a child. But when you grow older into manhood, you must think like a man. So what you believe as a child should change the older you get. Again, there's that wisdom that we're talking about. Come as you are, but you can't stay as you are.
Stay as you are.
Yeah, because if you don't grow, I mean, you're either growing or you're shrinking.
Amen.
Or you're
growing or you're shrinking. I mean, it's like we nothing stays the same, right? Because every second we're changing. And I think that's really, really.
I can't hear you.
Oh. Can you hear me? We can hear you. You got us? The devil is a liar. We're gonna say that. Right. It's interesting to hear that conversation, you know, and you know, and kind of also, you know, the thing about it is so often it's not what we expect, right? It's not what we expect. It doesn't fit into the stereotype of what we believe and all this kind of stuff, which is great. So,
you know, this may not be one of the smoothest interviews you've done, but I believe and I know that what we talk about on here is going to bless. Even with the technical difficulties, we go through it to grow through it, to glow through it.
Well, and that's how you know you're onto something too, man,
Right.
because you know, it's like when you got all these technical difficulties and coming up and stuff, it's something that people need to hear.
Yes.
And it ain't like, well, we gonna end this broadcast. We gonna persevere through it,
Right.
because that's what we do. We persevere through. I mean, that's how we get. I mean, anything that's too easy in life, you know, it's the things that you have to work for that you cherish. It's those things that when we start to understand that, and
Yes,
as you were talking about the omnipresent God, and we're talking about being in the now, right? And all those types of things are so important to who we are and who we become. And so, man, I appreciate you dropping them dimes like that, man.
Yes.
That's pretty awesome. So, man, tell us a little bit about the book, Life's Teachable Moments. You know, that just kind of really resonated with me when I saw that, because I think of how many teachable moments that I've experienced and hopefully have helped others through. So tell us a little bit about that work.
Well, the backstory on the book is, you know, I have a lot of fans, and I love them so much. And when I get to meet people, they have questions, and some of the answers are not short answers. And I thought, I really want to assist people so they can help themselves. And so basically all of the questions, I would go back to my hotels in different states and different countries, and I would write them down. And so I realized that people were looking for certainty. They were looking for better ways to communicate and to contribute. They were looking for ways to grow. And so I wrote that book. You know, I've authored 4 books, but Life's Teachable Moments was a lot of the answers to the questions that a lot of my fans have asked. And so I can't be everywhere at one time answering everybody's questions that they may have for me, but a book can. So I decided to author a book, and it's also on godsbillboardtshirts.com. And it's you know, it's done incredibly well. People all over the world have purchased this book, and it's about life's teachable moments. It's about learning in the moment, paying attention to what you're learning, and applying the solution. In other words, not complaining, not crying, not getting pissed off and upset. It's about learning how to resolve in the moment and then utilizing it in your future. And I think that when people can figure out how to resolve issues that they've had in their lives and know that another obstacle is going to soon come, but now, because they have the wisdom from going through it in the past, we can live a life of each one teach one, we can reach one.
Right.
Man,
I love that.
That's awesome. And you know, to put that work together and put it out there. I mean, I know what that's like personally now, you know, because of having done one book, but it's a lot of work to put that together and put together a quality project.
Yes,
and so,
sir.
man, you know, kudos for you for doing that.
Thank you.
And just, you know, I'm so impressed, Darrin, at how you just want to get this message out to help people, help them grow, right? Help them grow. And
right.
that whole thing that you're talking about, you know, you said go through it, grow through it, and glow through it.
Yes, sir.
And, you know, I think that is the glow part. So tell me, when you put that on a t-shirt, I mean, we know we go through it, right? And we grow through it. But expound a little bit on that glow through it for me.
Well, you go through it, meaning you live life. You go through it means you got through it. Like when people say, you know, you've heard Steve Harvey talk about this. You know, when people say, you know, they are going through hell. Well, don't stop there. Go all the way through it. Right?
Right. Don't stay in hell.
So you go through it. Now you come out on the other side, and you can have some joy. That's the growth.
Right.
Right? And then you glow through it. The light of God shines through us because we got through it. So we can have some gratitude moments, right? Have an attitude of gratitude. That's the glowing. I got through it. I learned something. I have something to give from it now. I have experienced things in life now. That's the glow.
Well, and we only lose when we stop moving forward.
That's right.
Yeah.
We only lose when we stop moving forward. No matter what you're going through, if you stop, but as long as you keep moving.
Yeah.
I mean,
if you give up on Monday, there is no Tuesday.
Yeah. Even if it's a pure crawl,
right?
Keep crawling, keep going through, because there is glory on the other side, right?
Dr. King said, if you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl, right? Just keep moving.
Keep moving.
Yeah.
So, man, just as we're coming up on we got about 10 minutes left. Man, what is the one message? I mean, I know we've been talking a lot here. If you were to look back over your life and say, okay, you've had this, really, from a lot of people's vantage point, you've had this this remarkable career, as a dancer and director and all that. What is the one piece of advice that you would give our listeners tonight? I know that's a loaded question, and we've been talking a lot, but what's
I would
on
say,
your
in
heart?
all honesty,
what is God placing on your heart to share with us tonight?
Listen to your inner child, because he and she knows the way. When you were a child, when you fell, you got up. When you rode a bike, you fell, you got back on the bike. When you wanted something, you asked for it until you got it. You wanted that bike for Christmas? Your mother or your father might have said, stop asking for that bike. You're not going to get it. But Christmas time, it showed up. As children, we know, right? The Bible says, ask and ye shall receive. Somehow we stopped asking when we got older. We stopped feeling like we deserved it. We stopped thinking that we deserved it. But the inner child, the child in us, knows better. So listen to the inner child, which is still there. Have a conversation with the inner child that knew no fear. See, the adult is fearful. The adult procrastinates. The adult will question. The child will run out in the rain. The child will just run to the park because it knows that's the direction where the fun is. And when the child gets there and gets on the swing, goes from the swing to the seesaw, from the seesaw to the basketball court, to the basketball court to the jump rope. The child says, that was fun. What else is next? The child wants to stay in flow and in alignment with the energy of the fun. See, as adults, we go, okay, I had fun. That's probably enough. The child says, no, I want some more, and keeps going, growing, and glowing.
Right. Well, and as you were saying, I was thinking about a good friend of ours, Sister Lynette, you used to always say, we have not because we ask not.
Yeah.
And we do get to that point in our adulthood sometimes where we stop asking and we stop hungering for more. And I think Paul said, I've learned to be a base and I learned to be hungry, right? At the same time, I've learned how to be both satisfied, but yet earning for more. And it's like, and I think it all kind of wraps this whole conversation together, because if you're in now, right, it's like, I'm satisfied with where I'm at, but yet at the same time, I have a hunger for more and appreciation for what I came through. But I'm in this place.
Well, two things can't occupy the same time. You can't say you're satisfied and want more. You can say you're grateful, but I still want more.
Yeah.
Because two things can't occupy the same space at the same time. Like when people say you need to be humble. No, you need to be humble. And they look at me and I say, look up the definition of the word humble and see what it says. The word humble means low to the ground. No, I keep my head held up high because I'm a child of the Most High. And so while people are focused on being humble, I'm focused on being grateful and asking and working for more. But the more I get, the more I'm going to share. That's the difference.
Right.
Yeah. What is the intent with getting more? Why do we want more?
Because the more I have, the more I can share.
Right.
That's good.
Too much is given.
I don't want it all for
required.
myself.
Yeah.
It's no fun being wealthy on my own.
Right.
Right? Jay-Z's new song said God did. He said, how many people came to to his house and became a billionaire? He said 3. But then he said something about Rockefeller or Rock Nation or something. He said that's 4. And I believe the reason that he brought that up is it's not just fun being a billionaire on his own. So he made all of his friends billionaires too. Right. The more we have, the more we should share. That's why it's not better to give than to receive. They both need each other. Because when you receive, now you have, now you can give. And when you give, somebody has to be on the receiving end. And when someone's on the receiving end, they have more to give. It's a reciprocation.
Well, and the word says he'll give seed to the sower.
Yes.
Right? He'll give seed to the sower. If you're not sowing, then there's no seed.
Right.
That is correct.
And you got to have seed to sow. So he gives seed to the sower.
That's right. So whoever said it's better to give than to receive is the person that was just looking to receive. Because if you
but I'm gonna tell you that it's better for you to
somebody
give
has to be a giver to give you.
Right.
But are you the receiver? Are you a giver as well?
Right. Well,
that's why we say each one teach one, we can reach one.
Right. And so, the object here, I think, is not that the blessings flow to us, but the blessings flow through us.
Yes, sir.
Through us to others.
Yeah.
But they happen at the same time.
Right.
They flow to us, yet through us the same way. See, the Most High is so amazing. 2 things happen at the same time, right? When we know what we do want, we also know what we don't want.
Yeah.
And when you know what you don't want, you know what you do want.
Yeah. That's
Love
good.
it.
That's good.
So it's so beautiful when there's a saying, the teacher shall appear when the student is ready.
Yes.
Yes. Absolutely.
And for those people who are seeking, they will find. How do we know? Because if it's in your will, it has to happen. Because it's law. Every cause has an effect.
Right. You can't change the law.
Yeah.
Can't change the law.
Yeah. We just have to learn how to operate in it.
Yes.
And use the law. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Good. So Darrin, what's next for you, man? What's next for you?
I'm so grateful for my life right now. I'm so grateful for the family business on BET Plus. We're in our 4th season.
Wow.
I'm so grateful for Double Cross, which will be airing the 4th season in January on the All Black Network. I have soon coming to a TV screen near you, my documentary, which is called Darrin's Dance Grooves, the untold Darrin Henson story, showing you, telling you, teaching you how I received and got to my MTV Music Award, how I worked with Michael Jackson, what were the steps to getting me to work with Prince, what were the steps to help me create Bye 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 that garnished my MTV Music Award, how I grew up in the Bronx. It's the story of Darrin Henson. I'm so grateful that's coming to a TV screen near you. And also another movie that I directed, written, and produced called The House Ain't a Home. And that's coming to a TV screen to you within the next 6 months. I'm just so grateful for my life that just keeps going, growing, and glowing. And my clothing line, God's Billboard T-shirts, is literally growing as we speak. And I'm so thankful for my fans. I love them. I'm thankful to you that God is using you to get the word out to people that their history is not yet fully written. And how do they know? Because if you're alive and you're watching and you're listening to this, you know you still got work to do.
You still got work to do. Right. Every day that your feet hit the floor, you got work to do. It's not a. I love that, man, and such. I mean, I think one of the things that's so amazing to me is how God has blessed you on these long-standing series. I mean, I don't know how long Soul Food
was on forever.
22 years and counting. Is still on.
It's still in syndication, right? So, yeah,
22 years and counting.
Wow.
Soul Food, Lincoln Heights, The Family Business, right? Stomp the Yard, Double Cross, Black Coffee. I mean, these movies are still loved. These TV shows are still loved, and they're still strong. They're in the continent of Africa. People are watching them. I'm just so thankful. I'm thankful for my publicist, Ivan, right? Ivan is my other voice. And right. We're getting ready to turn up the heat. and I'm just getting started. And it feels good. And I'm excited. You know, I feel like Kanye West. You ain't seen nothing yet.
Well, man, I absolutely love your passion and your love for the Lord and just all of that, man. It's just it's really been my pleasure to have you on the show. We had such a great time on Saturday and again tonight. And I told people this is going to be a deeper conversation than you think, right?
Yes.
And I'm so glad that it has been. And as you know, we look at some of the comments that have come through as Mr. Henson, you're so inspirational. What a fresh perspective. We've got people putting scripture in the chat box and you know, just wonderful. People just are leaving here encouraged and inspired. And you know, that's what we want. We want people to be encouraged and inspired to wake up tomorrow knowing that they are victory, right? You're victorious. Every day we're victorious. And so I think it's pretty awesome, man.
I'd like to share with your audience 4 books that have helped change my life. Number 1, Think and Grow Rich.
Yes.
Right? By Napoleon Hill.
Yep.
Number 2, Unleash the Giant Within. Tony Robbins. Number 3, this is a big one. The Richest Man in Babylon.
Man, you better talk about that book. So wonderful.
Pay yourself 10%.
Talk about that book so often. Yes.
And of course, my book, Life Teachable Moments. Those are the 4 books that I recommend people read.
Yes.
Those are 4 great books.
Great books.
Think and Grow Rich, the classic. Classic. And then Unleash the Greatness Within.
Tony Robbins.
Unleash the Giant Within.
And then The Richest Man in Babylon by Richard Clausen is it's a classic book, man. And you know, we talk about that all the time in our circles of financial literacy and wanting people to just really grasp that about how I don't want to give the whole story away, but you live off of really 70% of what you make. And then the other, you 10, you know, you're saving, you're investing, you're getting rid of your debt. There's so much in that book that is a wonderful read. And so again, man,
you want change to happen in your life, you must change.
That's right.
Well, and that's what Gandhi said. You must be the change you want to see in the world.
That's right.
Right. And how do you change? It all begins up here.
Yep.
That's right.
It begins up here. It comes right back to that mindset And so I think that's what's so important.
The
and
universe is mental.
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
The universe is mental. However
mental
you want to think about it, however you want to add it up. Remember, there's no number higher than 9. There's no number higher than 9.
Yeah.
Yep, that's true.
Think about it, 1 through 9. And then you have to add a number to 9 to get to a larger denomination. But there's no number higher than 9.
Yeah.
That's it. So, man, some other comments. Deborah Blakeney said, every day we're victorious. Joshua Dial says, inspired and encouraged and inspired. And, man, so just a lot of great. Someone says, Darrin, you are amazing. Thank you for all the information you shared. God bless you. And, man, I want to end with that as well. I want to say ditto to that Facebook user and said, thank you for being with us. If you want to just pop into the green room, don't run off yet. Don't disconnect. Stay on for just a second in the green room so that we can properly say thank you and goodbye. Michelle, any last words you want to share with the listener audience tonight?
Man, I think Darrin really said it all tonight. You know, it's about you and your mindset and the actions you're taking to make change. So I love it.
I want to call Dante. Dante, anything you want to share tonight? Pop on here, Dante, if you're in position.
Oh, Tony brought me in the but what's going on, y'all? What's going on?
Hey, y'all. So, man, y'all give it up for Dante behind the scenes, making all this thing work.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate
it. But I pulled him out tonight. Oh, he said, "I'm all nice, bro. You're gonna do it tonight."
Ah, man.
We just want to appreciate you as well, bro, for doing what you do behind the scenes.
This has been a very good show today. It's been very motivational, especially in the period that I'm going through right now. I needed this episode today.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
God will give you what you need, bro.
Yeah.
So listen, everybody, we appreciate y'all dialing in. Remember, Saturday morning at 7:30 a.m., Real Money Coach Show on Praise 100.9 right here in Charlotte. You can also get it by going to praisecharlotte.com. We will continue to bring wonderful, awesome guests like Mr. Darrin Henson to you guys to share this. I'm just so amazed every week, Darrin, just how God just brings people and they share. And you have done exactly that. So we appreciate you, bro. Everyone have a good night. We'll see you on Saturday.
Have a good evening.
God bless you.
God bless you.